again, everyone. Alongside Chuck Arfine, I'm Mark Shanowski. This is SportsNet Central, presented by AT&T Uverse.
For the first time, Tom Ricketts talks about moving the Cubs. We go one-on-one with the Cubs chairman, who explains his new public stance. Plus, the Blackhawks are feeling great after that thrilling overtime win.
Stallberg for Bickle, right in! Hawks win! Hawks win!
The banged-up Bulls look forward to getting another chance to close out the Nets, and Derrick Rose's teammates come to his defense. SportsNet Central starts right now.
This is SportsNet Central, presented by AT&T Uverse.
These are busy, busy times here at Comcast Sportsnet. We are your home for the Bulls and Blackhawks in both of their first-round series. Tomorrow night, the Bulls try to close out the Nets in Game 6. Tip-off is just after 7. Bulls pregame live sets the table at 6:30, live from the United Center. Then on Friday, it's Game 2 between the Hawks and Wild as the Hawks try to take a 2-0 series lead. A later start. Puck drop is at 8:30. Coverage begins at 8 on Blackhawks pregame live. Meanwhile, the White Sox play both tomorrow and Friday night on Comcast Sportsnet Plus. And tonight, we've got Cubs baseball right here on the main channel. It's the Cubs and the Padres, Game 3 of a 4-game set. Former Cub Andrew Kashner faces Scott Feldman. First pitch at 7:05. We'll have a live preview later in the show.
And speaking of the Cubs, team chairman Tom Ricketts made big news today, unveiling his plans for a major renovation of Wrigley Field. David Kaplan has that story.
The fact is, if we don't have the ability to generate revenue in our own outfield, then we'll have to take a look at moving, no question.
For the first time, Cubs chairman Tom Ricketts brought up the idea of moving out of Wrigley Field if a jumbotron and other signage is not allowed in the park. But when he sat down with me later in the day, he stressed that moving is an unlikely last resort.
The fact is, and we've said it since day one, that we want to win the World Series. We want to win the World Series in Wrigley, and we've been very committed to the preservation and improvements at Wrigley. But that said, you know, there's also a question of whether or not we can actually put up revenue-generating video board and signage in our own outfield. And if we can't, then at some point, you know, we've got to look at other options. But I don't think it's there. I mean, I think that we're going to be able to work this out and we'll be able to move forward.
Ricketts wants to stay on the north side, and that will take a healthy, working relationship with the Wrigleyville Rooftops Association. But if they cannot strike a deal and the Cubs flex their muscle, would the Rooftops get lawyers involved and file a lawsuit against the Cubs?
I know you all want me to say that. We have work to do with the Cubs. As you know, we haven't had a seat at the table and we haven't had legal representation, but we have work to do.
What we've designed and what we've put out there today is kind of a blend of revenue opportunities and being respectful of the Rooftops' views. So we think it's really a fair compromise.
After consulting with his lawyers, Ricketts is confident the team has a legal right to put up the signage and would win their case if it went to court. But despite all the talk about renovations and rooftops, Tom Ricketts knows that none of it matters unless the Cubs can win a World Series.
One thing I know for a stone-cold fact is the Ricketts legacy will be defined by whether or not we won. I mean, fixing the park, great, and it's important to us. That helps us win. Doing more around the neighborhood, that's great. That helps us win too. But it comes down to winning, and no one knows that more than I do, and no one focuses on that more than I do. We wear that, you know, we wear that pretty heavy, and everyone has to understand that each of these steps we take and everything we do is building toward that goal.
Our thanks to David Kaplan. Coming up later in the show, we asked Tom Ricketts if he considers selling the naming rights to Wrigley Field. You'll hear that answer in about 14 minutes. And we invite you to get interactive with the show on Twitter tonight. How concerned are you that the proposed changes will impact the Wrigley Field fan experience? Remember to use the hashtag CubsTalk. We'll have some of the best answers later in the show.
Mitchell hit hard in behind by Shaw. Now it's loose ahead. Stallberg's got it. Bickle up with him. Stallberg for Bickle. Right in. Hawks win. Brian Bickle in overtime.
So there was the hockey puck last night, sliding all over the ice, off the boards, here, there, everywhere, including somewhere in the uniform of Minnesota goalie Josh Harding. It took a while, but they found it. At some point in overtime, it was going to find the back of the net. We didn't know whose, we didn't know when, we didn't know how. But fortunately for the Blackhawks, they have a team of know-how. Plain and simple, they know how to win.
And the perfect pass from Brian Bickle, forehand, backhand, nothing but the back of the net.
It wasn't easy, it wasn't pretty, but the Blackhawks found a way to beat the Wild in Game 1. They had that dramatic finish, but in Game 2, they need a better start.
Emotionally, we're fired up, perhaps a little too much. You can put part of that on the nerves and the excitement of being in the playoffs again. You can also give Minnesota credit for playing a good first period, but we worked hard to get home ice advantage. We want to make sure we keep our crowd into it, and they give us energy throughout the game. So starting fast in Game 2 is important.
It's something that can happen. We're all very excited, and we want to do good, and sometimes that's how it starts.
It's the first game. I think whether the build-up and the anticipation, but certainly wasn't the starts we've seen from our team throughout the season. But we want to make sure we're starting quicker. We want to play a faster game. I think we got better as the game progressed, but I still think we want to make sure that how we start and finish, we want to make sure we're at the same pace.
For a team loaded with stars, it was the role players who made the biggest difference, especially on that goal that decided it all. Johnny Oduya to Victor Stahlberg to Brian Bickle. Game, set, match.
Scoring that goal last night was big for us as a group, but big for him as well, and give him a little confidence. And he's a big body. He can play physical, and I think he can take over games sometimes when he's playing well, and it's big for us.
That line was doing everything for us last night. They were hitting, they were creating chances, they were scoring. Big scored a huge goal, obviously, and they were setting the tone for everyone else.
Well, the Wild might be without goalie Nicholas Backstrom again for Game 2. He was a late scratch last night when he suffered a lower body injury during warm-ups. He's listed as day-to-day. Today, the Wild called up goalie Darcy Kemper from the minors, a sign that Backstrom might not be able to go in Game 2. If that's the case, Josh Harding will get the start for the second game in a row. The Blackhawks, this is big news, going to be returning to the outdoors next season. The NHL announced today that the Hawks will host the Pittsburgh Penguins at Soldier Field on March 1st, 2014. It's part of a stadium series that the NHL is starting, with 5 other games being played outdoors during the regular season. Several of the Blackhawks who played at Wrigley in 2009 cannot wait to play outside again.
The last time around, a lot of the guys that were in this locker room that had the chance to play at the Wrigley Field, it was an amazing day, and a lot of things about it made it special. So it'll be a different venue, but to be at home here again, it'll be a pretty cool thing.
It's exciting. I was here for the Wrigley Field game in 2009. That was one of the highlights of my career in Chicago. It was a special day. We were able to skate at Soldier Field with the Wounded Warriors this year, and it was a pretty cool setup. So it's gonna be fun to play in that game. Hopefully the weather is nice. It's not too cold, but looking forward to it.
So here are the 6 outdoor games being played next season. The Maple Leafs and Red Wings, whose game got canceled this season because of the lockout. They get it all started on New Year's Day at Michigan Stadium. Mark, the Ducks and Kings will actually play outdoor hockey in Los Angeles at Dodger Stadium on January the 25th. Right? I looked this up. The average temperature on that date is 68 degrees, but they've had Januaries where the temps can reach 90 or above in January.
They're testing the limits of the refrigeration, people.
So here's my thought on that. Yeah. Good luck with that. That's all.
Well, after a break, we'll check in on the Bulls. They're hoping to get Kirk Heinrich back for Game 6 tomorrow night. And what about Derrick Rose? Does he still have the full support of his teammates during this ongoing rehab? You'd expect the Brooklyn Nets to say they can win in Chicago and force a Game 7, but wait till you hear the confidence shown by backup forward Andre Blatche. And later, Cubs president Theo Epstein asked if he could ever imagine the team playing somewhere other than Wrigley Field.
SportsNet Central on Comcast SportsNet is presented to you by AT&T Uverse.
Look at him, living on cloud nine with that Uverse wireless receiver. You see, in my day, when my mom was repainting the house, you couldn't just set up a TV in the basement. I mean, come on.
Nope. We only watch TV in the rooms that had a TV outlet.
Yeah, if we wanted to watch TV someplace else, we'd have to go to my Aunt Sally's. Have you ever sat in a plastic-covered couch?
You're missing a good game over here.
Those kids wouldn't have lasted one day in our shoes.
Add a wireless receiver. Call to get Uverse TV for just $19 a month with qualifying bundles. Rethink possible.
Nice car. Not so nice scratch. Wouldn't it be nice if removing ugly scratches from your car was this easy? Now with new Finish Scratch Doctor, removing surface scratches is easy. In fact, independent laboratory tests have proven Scratch Doctor to be the best scratch remover available. Scratch Doctor with advanced microtechnology also removes paint scrapes, scuffs, haze, and swirl marks. So get Scratch Doctor.
#1 rated Scratch Doctor, available at Advance Auto, Walgreens, Ace, Target, AutoZone, Walmart, and other leading stores.
The reality is I didn't want to go.
I thought it was a gigantic waste of time.
It's like watching a live game and you know how this thing's going to end with a buzzer beater or something.
5 years ago this month, the Bulls struck gold, winning the NBA lottery and the right to draft Derrick Rose. With just a 1.7% chance to win, John Paxson stayed home, didn't even watch the results unfold. Well, tomorrow on Bulls Pregame Live, we're going to take you behind the scenes and show you the draft lottery show you didn't see on television and introduce you to the first person who knew that the Bulls had won the lottery.
As if all the injuries haven't caused enough problems for the Bulls, Luol Deng and Taj Gibson had to miss today's short practice at the Berto Center because of illness, although both are expected to play tomorrow night. Unfortunately, the outlook is much more guarded about Kirk Hinrich. He continues to receive round-the-clock treatment for a calf injury, but doesn't really sound like a guy who's ready to jump back on the court for an NBA playoff game.
Still, very gingerly, walking very gingerly. And, I haven't tried to run or cut or jump or anything yet. So, hoping that it improves a lot between today and tomorrow.
The soreness continues to linger for Kirk Hinrich. He was kept out of practice on Wednesday, and a reevaluation will come before the Bulls tip-off Game 6. Hinrich missed Monday's game in Brooklyn, and his absence was a big factor in the Nets' 19-point win. In dealing with an injury he's never experienced before, Hinrich's chances of getting back on the court depend on how much progress he can make in the last day.
I'm doing better, seen some improvement, and right now just, kind of the same deal, just taking it day to day and just trying to, throw everything at it to try to improve it as quickly as possible. It's brutal. I mean, all year we kind of been looking forward to this time. This is really the second time, I guess, I've missed playoff action, and it's never any fun. You never want to end the year like that. So just try to do the best I can to get ready.
And then there's that other point guard who continues to work toward his own return. The approach to Derrick Rose's comeback really hasn't changed, and neither have the comments from Tom Thibodeau.
There's always a chance, small as it might be.
You give a guy that has that type of character, the benefit of the doubt, and we know that he's such a big part of this organization and this team that we trust he's making the right decision for that and for himself.
He's not quite there, and we made that clear to him from the beginning. We're going to support him in every way possible. I would never question him, ever.
Still, don't expect Derrick Rose to come to the rescue tomorrow night. The rest of the Bulls just need to do a better job on the defensive end. Remember, they allowed Brooklyn to score 110 points, shoot 50% from the field, and win the battle of the boards in Game 5. Andre Blatch, of all people, came off the bench to score 13 points on Monday, and he provided some bulletin board material following the Nets practice session.
There's no doubt in our mind. I mean, we are the better team. We just, like I said, we're in the hole. And we're swinging to get out. We're gonna continue to fight. All our players have confidence right now. Like I said, we put ourselves in a hole. We're digging out of it. we know if we lose another game, we're going home. And nobody's ready to go home. Everybody's been focused. Everybody's going to continue to fight. So I feel tomorrow we're going to go there, take care of business, and have a Game 7.
We'll see Tom Ricketts on if he will ever sell the naming rights to Wrigley Field. Plus, Theo Epstein on Ricketts' new public stance. That is coming up. And Anthony Rizzo was traded for Andrew Kachner, and he'll face him tonight. We're going to hear from the Cubs' first baseman on the deal that brought him to Chicago.
When the Northsiders score 3, get one free. After the Northsiders score 3 runs, buy any pizza online and get the second one free online at papajohns.com with promo code Northside.
Are you ready to rock? Are you ready to rock?
A price so low, everyone will go. The $7.99 Great Haircut Sale is back at Great Clips. Get a great haircut for only $7.99. Check in from anywhere with our new app. Great Clips, it's gonna be great.
License and registration, please. What's this?
It's my Geico Insurance ID card, sir. It's digital. Pretty cool, right?
Maybe. Do you know why I pulled you over today?
Because I'm a pig driving a convertible.
Tail lights out. Fix it.
Digital insurance ID cards. Just a click away with the Geico mobile app.
Quiet on the set. Take 73. What? It's a... Saving big is no laughing matter. At the Bob Roman Auto Group, over 7,000 new and used cars online at bobrorman.com.
There's only one Bob Roman.
There is a battle for my son's baseball soul. I am a diehard Cubs fan, and my wife is a diehard Brewers fan. I think I'm winning the battle. One night, right before I went to bed, and we sang Take Me Out to the Ball Game. And we paused for Henry to fill in the line, root, root, root for the Cubbies. And when he said Cubbies, I knew he was mine.
Yay, let's go.
Cubs. I think my wife raised the L flag on that one.
Do you hear Panda Express has a new steak and shrimp dish? I gotta see it to believe it.
I've got an idea. I'll cut the power, and I'll grab the surf and turf.
Tasty shrimp with Angus steak. New Samurai Surf and Turf. Only at Panda Express.
Welcome back. We are about 17 minutes away from first pitch at the friendly confines. Cubs and Padres tonight here on Comcast SportsNet. So you've got time. Order your pizza now at papajohns.com. Don't look for personal seat licenses at Wrigley Field anytime soon. As you probably know, PSL is very popular among NFL teams. But Tom Ricketts says he's focusing on trying to generate more revenue within the organization to pay for those improvements to the ballpark. Ricketts is also against adding a sponsor's title to Wrigley Field.
There's no plan to sell the name of Wrigley Field. We think it has real meaning to people, particularly those people that come from all over the country every year because it's their trip to Wrigley. And so, no, we're not planning on changing the name of Wrigley Field. But that said, one of the great things about the way we're redesigning the park and putting in the plaza and the hotels, it does give us great opportunities to bring in strong corporate partners to help us generate more revenue for the team.
Earlier, we asked, how concerned are you that the proposed changes will impact the Wrigley Field fan experience? Johnny says not concerned at all about Wrigley Field renovations. It's long overdue, would make the experience 100% better. Ben goes with the experience is a stadium 40 years out of date. Changes modernize it while keeping Wrigley's charm.
Well, this is a perfect night to be at Wrigley Field, where the Cubs are getting set to face the Padres right here on Comcast SportsNet at the top of the hour. And with more, let's go live at the north side. Chris Bowden has your press pass, where most of the talk, at least pregame, is not about the game, but Wrigley Field itself. Hey, Chris.
Hey, Chuck, exactly right. You know, Theo Epstein had his first words since this morning's press conference as he met with reporters that the Cubs are winding down batting practice, and he confirmed an earlier report He says he meets with the players at least once a month on a group basis, and he has promised them that the first aspect of that renovation would be to completely redo the clubhouse, ideally by opening day 2014 if an agreement is reached by a specific time. If not, or if no agreement is reached at all, they're looking at opening day 2015 at the earliest. The Ricketts presentation did include for the first time a threat to move, and we asked Epstein whether he could ever envision Wrigley not being the home of the Cubs.
Everyone's on record saying their goal is to stay here and to win here, but I think, with what Tom's answer to that question today really just underscored the importance of the project and the importance of the revenue to our vision of building a sustainable winner in a big market and behaving the way a big market should. So, Tom loves Wrigley Field, and he doesn't wake up in the morning thinking about moving. He wakes up thinking about winning here, but winning does come first. I think we're all committed to finding a way to make it work so we can win and act like a big market here.
Well, the first bold move the Epstein-Hoyer regime made 2 winters ago was trading ex-Cub first-rounder Andrew Cashner to San Diego for Anthony Rizzo. They faced each other 2 years ago. Prior to that trade, Rizzo 0 for 1. Cashner made 2 relief appearances against the Cubs last May prior to Rizzo's call-up. The first baseman starting to heat up the past week, 3 doubles last night, and it'll be an interesting mano-a-mano to watch tonight.
I think it's a great trade. I got out of San Diego. I'm way happier in Chicago. I'm closer to home here. I'm not playing 3 hours behind everyone else. So, yeah, I love it. I love it here in Chicago. Cashner's a great pitcher, and he has a power arm. And I think he's in the pitcher's park. I'm in the hitter's park now.
And one other bit of news on the injury front. Matt Garza made his first rehab start for AA Tennessee earlier today. 2 2/3 innings. He allowed 1 run, had a 1-2-3 first, walked the first couple of batters in the second inning. He had about 91 to 93 on the speed gun, said he felt good afterwards. Dale Swaim says at least another 2, if not 3 starts, and without any red flags, then they'll evaluate how soon he can come up here and rejoin the rotation. That's going to do it live from Wrigley Field. I'm Chris Bowden-Chuck. Let's send it back to you in our downtown studio.
Thanks, Chris. And the Cubs need to find a way to stop Carlos Quinton tonight. He has 5 homers at Wrigley in his last 7 games, including last night. Sox are in Texas tonight looking to end a 3-game losing streak. Chris Sale's on the mound looking for his first road victory of the season, although he's 7-0 all-time against the AL West. A.J. Brzezinski will have to wait a little longer to face his former team. He's out of the lineup again tonight with an injured oblique. It's said to be getting better, and it looks like he'll be in the lineup tomorrow against the White Sox.
Joel Quenneville has a lot of praise for Johnny Oduya's pass that helped set up last night's game-winning goal in overtime. You'll hear it from Coach Q next.
Look at him, living on cloud nine with that U-verse wireless receiver.
You see, in my day, when my mom was repainting the house, you couldn't just set up a TV in the basement. I mean, come on.
Nope. We only watched TV in the rooms that had a TV outlet.
Yeah, if we wanted to watch TV someplace else, we'd have to go to my Aunt Sally's. Have you ever sat in a plastic-covered couch?
You're missing a good game over here.
Those kids wouldn't have lasted 1 day in our shoes.
Add a wireless receiver. Call to get U-verse TV for just $19 a month with qualifying bundles. Rethink possible.
Great day for a move.
Yeah, you want to help?
Nah, I'm good. Hey, I still owe you that $500?
Yeah, and a lawnmower.
You've got DirecTV.
Yeah.
Call them. They'll hook up your new pad with phone and super fast internet, and you can get that whole home DVR upgrade for free. I just saved you over $500. It's like you owe me now.
DirecTV Movers Deal. Call now to bundle, plus ask how to get NFL Sunday Ticket.
They're beautiful, loyal, and extremely lovable. But at the end of the day, dogs will be dogs, and you end up with a mess all over your vehicle's carpet. Because even if you have those ordinary mats, all kinds of permanent stains find their way off those mats and onto your floors anyway. Unless you have WeatherTech floor liners. WeatherTech liners are laser measured to custom fit and perfectly protect your specific make and model. Front, back, even up the sides. So all of life's little permanent reminders go into the liner and stay in the liner until you wash them away. You can find your WeatherTech floor liners at WeatherTech.com. Just enter your vehicle make and model. Select the liner and color and say goodbye to all those little resale robbing reminders. Questions? Give us a call at 1-800-CARMATS. Don't wait until it's too late. Order your WeatherTech protection today at WeatherTech.com. WeatherTech floor liners. Complete protection, completely American made at WeatherTech.com.
Brian Bickle scored the game-winning goal in overtime last night, but let's not forget about the guy who started the play. Some very creative work by Johnny Oduya. He made the snap decision to flip the puck off the glass over one of the Wild players. That set up Victor Stahlberg and Bickle for the great scoring chances that sent everyone home happy.
I think that might have been one of the best indirect passes you'll ever see, because I think Johnny tried to do that, and to get that much air on it to draw the defenseman and just over his head, and to Victor picking up in full flight was a I'm giving him credit, thinking that he saw it exactly how the play unfolded, but it turned out to be a special pass.
I'm sure he saw Stolly going with speed there and tried to make that long pass and just got just kept it out of reach of their defenseman, and it's a heck of a play. So I mean, when you get speed like we do up front to throw pucks in areas like that, it doesn't always work out perfectly, but he made a heck of a play there for sure.
Hey, the Comcast SportsNet Beard Challenge is on. Here are a few of our entries. Remember, the winner gets a men's grooming package, which you'll definitely need. Show us your progress. Use the hashtag #PlayoffBeardChallenge on Twitter.
All right, good stuff. For Mark Janowski, I'm Chuck Garfine. Thanks for watching SportsNet Central, presented by AT&T Uverse.
Up next, we get you out to Wrigley Field. Game 3 of the series between the Cubs and Padres. Andrew Kashner throwing for the business.
It's a feeling you only get by being here, where friends find each other and rivals jam together. It's hot dogs and earplugs and colors that seem like they have an on switch. It's the swelling in your heart and the rumble beneath your feet. And it all leads up to this. It's race day. Chicagoland Speedway. The chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup starts here.
There's a battle for my son's baseball soul. I am a diehard Cubs fan, and my wife is a diehard Brewers fan. I think I'm winning the battle. One night, right before I went to bed, and we sang Take Me Out to the Ball Game. And we paused for Henry to fill in the line, root, root, root for the Cubbies. And when he said Cubbies, I knew he was mine.
Yay, let's go.
Cubs. I think my wife raised the L flag on that one.
If you want the best of baseball all season long, Xfinity from Comcast gives you the best seat in the house. With MLB Network, you get live games 4 nights a week, plus 24/7 insider coverage and live look-ins every night. This is MLB Network on Xfinity. This is awesome. Sign up for the Xfinity HD Preferred XF Triple Play with MLB Network, or ask about other bundles starting at only $99 a month for 12 months. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
So, it's a busy time of year. I'm feeding the kids, I'm feeding the spouse, I'm feeding the dog. Are you guys ready for school yet? No. I'm taking the kids to school, the soccer practice, ballet lessons, guitar lessons. I'm making the gift list. I'm shopping for Aunt Rita. New job, new wife, new baby, 6 nieces, 4 nephews. Dallas, LA, Seattle, New York, Paris. I'm running out of time. I love logistics.
Shop Menards during the spring sale for unbelievable savings. Finish jobs fast with Power Grab. This heavy-duty construction adhesive dries clear and features instant grab technology. Right now, buy 1 tube for just $4.57 and get 1 free. Get the best stain and sealant in one with Ultra Advanced from Pittsburgh. It provides ultra long-lasting protection. Right now, save $6 a gallon on Pittsburgh stains and sealants. That's $30 on 5-gallon pails.
Save big money at Menards.
Left the darkness, light a fire for the silent and the broken hearted. Won't you stand up, stand up, stand up? Won't you stand up,
Another gorgeous day here in Chicago as we get you set for Cubs baseball on Comcast SportsNet. Under the lights tonight, Game 3 of a 4-game series. The Cubs hosting the San Diego Padres. And hi again, everyone. Jim DeShays, Len Casper with you. Each team winning one game to start this series. And, JD, we're going to go back one off season, January of 2012. The Cubs made a very interesting deal acquiring Anthony Rizzo from the Padres, giving up a hard-throwing right-hander named Andrew Cashner.
And we will see Andrew Cashner tonight. Always fun to follow these deals as they move forward, too. You know, top prospects for each organization. Cashner should do well in Petco Park. Rizzo certainly a favorable move for him coming here to Chicago. Chance to hit in Wrigley Field. So far, Rizzo has performed very well in a Cub uniform. Cashner's had some injury problems and essentially missed the entire 2011 season, so he's still developing.
Yeah, I think that trade has a chance to be very good for both teams when it's all said and done. Cashner's pitching tonight for the Padres. It'll be Mr. Feldman, Scott Feldman for the Cubs.
Feldman very good last time out, 6 2/3 innings against the Marlins as he picked up his first win of the season. Career against the Padres, he's 1-1 with a 3.92. Has not seen much of them with all the time he spent in the American League. And Andrew Cashner so far has struggled on the road, 0-6 in his career on the road.
And a very hard-throwing Andrew Cashner. Soriano out of the lineup. Julio Bobon gets the start in left, and it was a rough night for Edwin Jackson last night, but the starters, by and large, were very good in the month of April. Scott Feldman to the hill tonight, looking for his second consecutive win.
Who thinks more is better than less? Okay, why?
More is better than less because if stuff is not if there's more less stuff, then you might want to have some more, and your parents just don't let you because there's only a little bit.
Right.
We want more. We want more. Like, you really like it. You want more.
I follow you.
It's not complicated. More is better. And AT&T has the nation's largest 4G network.
Great day for a move.
Yeah, you want to help?
Nah, I'm good. Hey, I still owe you that $500?
Yeah, and a lawnmower.
Hey, you've got DirecTV.
Yeah.
Call them. They'll hook up your new pad with phone and super fast internet, and you can get that whole home DVR upgrade for free. I just saved you over $500. It's like you owe me now.
The Movers Deal. Call now to bundle, plus get our most advanced DVR upgrade for free.
One thing's for sure, when you shop at Blaine's Farm and Fleet, you'll always find merchandise that's a cut above when it comes to quality. At a price point that'll put a smile on your face and a spring in your step.
Or you might say we have excellent products at low prices.
Right now, a Crescent 8-inch adjustable ratcheting wrench is only $9.99. This Briggs & Stratton pressure washer is $249.99. And a DeWalt 12-volt Max 4-tool combo kit is $229.99.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Great brands, great prices.
Cubs baseball on Comcast SportsNet is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. BMO Harris Bank, helping money make sense. BMO Harris Bank, NA member FDIC. AT&T Uverse. Visit att.com/freeyourtv. Rethink possible. Ford. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com.
Beautiful night once again for Chicago Cubs baseball here on Comcast SportsNet. Game 3 of this 4-game set. Cubs were able to win the opener Monday night 5-3. It was all Padres last night, 13-7. Richard Dale making a slight change in his lineup. More on that coming up here momentarily. And we still have a couple of minutes before the Cubs take the field as they exchange the lineup cards. This is a long homestand here, and you really want to see this team get comfortable at Wrigley. The Cubs right now just 4-6 at home when they were winning back-to-back division titles
about 5 years ago, this was a very difficult place for opposing teams to play, and that's where you'd like to get to if you're the Cubs.
Yeah, and that's oftentimes the formula for a successful season, certainly a championship season. Hold your own, hang in there on the road, try to play around 500 baseball, and really take care of business in your home ballpark. Cubs looking to get on a little roll here, and 3 out of 4 against the Marlins, have a chance to do some damage against the Padres before the schedule stiffens again.
Well, good news earlier today. Matt Garza made his first minor league rehab assignment start. And really, you can basically forget about the numbers. 2 2/3, 42 pitches against Mississippi. Bottom line is he felt good after the outing. And his next one probably will be with Iowa, it appears. So we're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Garza hopefully will be back sooner than later. Starting the year on the DL with the left lat strain. So Scott Feldman getting set to face this Padres Southwest starting lineup. They set a club record at Wrigley Field, the most runs they have ever scored in this ballpark dating back to 1969. 13 last night. Cabrera, Amarista, and Headley at the top. Quentin, Alonso, Jerko in the middle. Venable, Baker, and Cashner at the bottom.
Cubs defensively, Julio Borbon making his second start in left field as Alfonso Soriano gets a night off. DeJesus, Shearholtz round out the outfield. Valbuena, Castro, Barney, Rizzo around the horn, and Deandre Navarro behind the plate tonight for Scott Feldman. The big righty has made 4 starts. Got his first win last time out. He's 1-3 with a 3.92 ERA. He's walked 12, struck out 12. He would like to improve that ratio going forward. Got a lot of left-handed bats to contend with in this Padre lineup tonight. Lefties are hitting .351 against Feldman as you check out the umpires tonight. Isanya, Carlson, Davis. Jerry Davis, the crew chief, was behind the dish last night. He's probably had to throw a little ice on his back. That was a lot of bending over. He had to call about 400 stinking pitches in that ball game.
So Everth Cabrera, who's been on base 7 times already in the first 2 games of this series, will start it for the visitors. Padres have won 5 of 6 after a 5-15 start.
And one of those reaches was Cabrera last night in the 7th. He got smoked with a fastball up above the elbow. And not sure we were going to see him in the lineup tonight, but he's ready to go.
And so is our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher Scott Feldman, and the fastball misses outside. You see the padding guarding that right elbow for Cabrera. Inside that time, 2-0. Cabrera's on base percentage .398 as a leadoff hitter, and you add the speed to it. That's ideal for a top of the order guy. 3-0.
Whatever you do, don't walk him. He'll be looking to run.
And the sinker is at the knees. 3-1. 71 beautiful degrees, and east wind at 9. Very pleasant. Back in it now, 3-2. That's the other thing about a good leadoff hitter, and certainly David DeJesus does this. The willingness to take 2 pitches when you're ahead in the count to start the game. 3-0.
And you have to know your game. I mean, if you're Ricky Henderson, as a leadoff guy with home run power, you're probably looking to hit 3-1.
Call strike 3. Good comeback by Feldman.
Did he get the corner or no? No. Break for Feldman. It's okay. Wasn't horrible.
Amarista playing center takes a strike.
Feldman's going to sink his fastball, throw a lot of cutters as well. Curveball and a changeup.
Fly ball to deep center. De Jesus with a beat on it, and he's got it on the warning track. 2 down. That was switch hitting Chase Headley. Fans still filing in this evening. A couple of hits for Headley last night as the Padres pounded out 17 hits, season high in hits and runs, 9 extra base hits. Outside corner. Feldman signed as a free agent over the winter. Born in Hawaii, grew up in Northern California. Went to the College of San Mateo and was drafted in the 30th round in '03 by Texas. 1-2.
Pretty nice big league career for a guy who was picked in the 30th round. Obviously, were not high expectations by the Rangers when they drafted Scott. Turned himself into a solid major league performer. As has the guy in the batter's box right now, Chase Headley. 31 bombs last year, led the league with 115 RBIs. This is a guy who never hit more than 12 home runs in a season prior to last year.
2-2 is on the way. It's low. And he's run it full with Carlos Quentin on deck. Quentin had a huge night last night. 3 hits, 2 doubles, and a home run.
You see that leap in production sometimes for a younger player as he matures, but Headley's been around a while, so it's kind of rare to see that big of a jump.
Bourbon got a late break on it, and the ball will drop in front of him. So Headley shanks a base hit, and the inning continues for Quentin.
See Bourbon playing fairly deep there for Headley. Did not get the best jump. I don't think he was going to have a play anyway.
Now a Stanford product. Carlos Quentin. He went to University High School in San Diego. Mark Pryor and Luke Walton were teammates of his on the basketball team there as he fouls off.
Hey, he was a 3-sport star in high school. Was the defensive player of the year in football. Set records on the diamond. Basketball team won a state championship.
Just ask Zach Greinke about his football maneuvers. Swing and a miss. Headley running, and the throw is picked by Barney, and Headley's safe at second with a steal.
Base runner's now 6 for 6 when attempting to steal with Feldman on the mound. Big, tall righty with a relatively slow delivery. Does not give his catcher a real good shot. And Headley, although his game is more power than speed, he is capable. Stole 17 bags last year. Was caught 6 times. Game 1 of the series, Quentin, punched out 3 times. He struck out 3 times, walked twice. He was chasing the Samardzija splitter or slider, something off speed down in the dirt with regularity. See if Feldman's able to duplicate that. He's got the jump on him. See if he can bury a breaking ball down in the dirt and get him to chase.
And he does that, and Quentin does not chase it. Talking about his athletic prowess in high school. Before that, he was 12, 5'9", 140. And he couldn't play Little League. His parents were afraid he was going to hurt somebody.
Really? Little League's not like football. You're not hitting people.
Mom said the poor little third baseman would be gone if he hit it hard at him. 2-2. Wow.
The third baseman just needs to play deeper.
Just underway. Headley with a 2-out single. He then stole second. And a 2-2 tally on their cleanup man Carlos Quentin. Feldman coming home. Fastball outside. 3-2. Yonder Alonso waiting on deck. So Navarro will go through the signs once again. Well, April is over. May 1st. Cubs had a disappointing month in that they went 10-16. There was definitely some good with a starting rotation and some individual performances in the bullpen and on offense, just trying to become more consistent all the way around. On a hop, it'll be played by Darwin Barney. And that is that for the Padres in the first. They strand Headley at second. The Cubs are coming up against their former teammate Andrew Kashner.
Motor Trend asked truck owners who aren't driving a Ford to take the EcoBoost Challenge.
Ford, I'm impressed.
Ford F-150 with EcoBoost technology versus Chevy Silverado.
Silverado is struggling right now. The F-150 just totally outperformed it.
It made towing that huge boat around very easy.
I'm very surprised that it's a V6. I would pick the Ford if I had my choice between the two.
Get F-150 with 0% financing for 60 months or choose $67.50 in cash savings plus $1,000 bonus cash.
This could change everything. A frost brew liner, cold activated mountains, 2-stage cold indicators, plus a new double vented wide mouth. This technological masterpiece will revolutionize barbecues, beach parties, and tailgates. It will bring cold refreshment to millions of people this summer and eliminate oppressive heat around the world. Sorry, I got carried away. The world's most refreshing can, only from Coors Light.
Do you remember when we used to do lunch? Please. Today it was 2 raisins, and I found a cracker in the cup holder.
How about a flatbread in the front seat? Didn't even have to get out of my car.
That looks so good.
I think your son just ate a pine cone.
Jimmy, no!
Introducing flatbread grilled chicken from Wendy's. Warm grilled chicken on toasted flatbread in 2 bold new tastes. Better food for everybody from Wendy's.
Now that's better.
And we're open late.
Good and bad in the month of April for the Cubs offense. The bad, 26th in the majors in runs. The good, 5th in home runs. They've connected 35 times already. And their Southwest starting lineup looks like this. DeJesus in center. Bourbon in for Soriano. He'll hit second. Luis Valbuena will make his second career start in the 3 spot. Rizzo moves down, so does Castro. Sherholtz 6th. Navarro, Barney, and Feldman 7 through 9.
Padres have Quentin left. Amarista in center. Cameron Maben, the regular center fielder, still on the DL. Venables got speed in right. Headley, Cabrera, Jerko, Alonso on the infield, and John Baker does the catching for big righty Andrew Kashner, 6'6", 220 out of Conroe, Texas. Cubs made him their first round pick in 08. 19th pick overall. He's 1-on-1 with a 326. Started the year in the bullpen, moved into the rotation. He's made a couple of starts, and last time out was quite good.
He's faced the Cubs before in relief, but this is the first time as a starter. What a night for DeJesus last night. Hit rockets all over the ballpark. And the one hit he ended up with had to be reviewed. It was a home run. Lined out 3 other times, and he gets under this one. Shallow center, Amarista drifting in, and he makes a grab for the out.
Cashner, an extreme hard thrower. That fastball will sit right around 95, 96 miles an hour. Been known to hit triple digits on occasion.
Prior to Monday, to start this homestand, Julio Bourbon had never been inside Wrigley Field. Nothing in 1 on him. Headley way in at third, and there's a ball rolled back through the box and into center.
A little two-seam runner drifting towards the outside part of the plate. Bourbon just whacks it right back through the middle. See if he has larceny on his mind.
I'll bring up Luis Valbuena. He's hit 5 home runs. Cubs third baseman have connected 7 times, leading the major leagues. Ball 1. I mentioned the injury problems Cashner's had 2 years ago with the Cubs. Missed most of the year with a right rotator cuff strain. 1 start before the injury, 6 relief appearances when he returned in September. Then he got traded. Missed 2 months last year with a sprained lat muscle. Then this past December had right thumb surgery. He was trimming a carcass while hunting and was accidentally stabbed by a buddy. It caused a lacerated tendon in his thumb.
Yeah, you know, if I'm a club, some of these pitchers that, well, any player, but guys who got a lot of money invested in, have high hopes for, I don't know, I might write a no sharp instrument clause into their contract.
Buena takes a strike. Well, how would you like to be Cashner and have to make that phone call to either the trainer or manager or general manager?
So anyway,
Bourbon runs, ball 4. It's your left hand, right? No, it's the right one.
The good news is it's not severed completely. I'll be back eventually. So here we go. Here's the matchup. 2 fellows that were traded for each other. Opportunity for the Cubs to draw first blood.
Oftentimes when trades are made, you start to talk about a winner and a loser, but there are many cases when trades end up being losing propositions for both teams, and that the guys you get in return never amount to much on both sides. You have the trade where one team wins, the other team loses, but I think ideally for a lot of general managers, they like to make trades where it's a win-win both ways, because after a while, JD, if you win a few and everybody else loses, general managers start to get a little itchy. They don't
they're a little gun shy doing business with you.
Yeah.
I mean, deep down, right? If you win, quote unquote, the deal, you got to love it, but you got to, publicly say the right things. But the really interesting thing about this deal is it's 2 very young guys, high ceiling guys, top prospect type guys, traded for each other when they're young, and their whole careers ahead of them.
The 1-1 is off the plate in.
So many deals now are trade deadline deals, and it's the veteran guy who's already making big bucks for prospects. So that's a deal where there's a lot of money issues involved. Here it's a straight up talent deal. It's a frontline pitcher for a frontline position player.
Kick and the pitch that caught the inside edge. And it's 2-2. I mean, ultimately, general managers just want their side of the deal to work out, and quite honestly, don't care that much about the other part of it. Late swing and hit foul into the bullpen down that left field line. Now, if you're the Padres, you go out and you get Yonder Alonso from Cincinnati, and in their mind they thought, well, we've got a big time asset now in Anthony Rizzo. Let's see what we can get for him. So you get the high ceiling, hard throwing pitcher. If you're the Cubs, certainly not an easy deal to deal away a guy like Cashner, but they looked at Rizzo as an everyday player as he bounces to second. But he's able to break up the double play. He hustled down the line and keeps the inning alive for Castro. So they only get one at second.
Yeah, Rizzo, he's not the typical lumbering first baseman. He's a good athlete, can run a little bit, and he's able to beat what looked like it would be a fairly easy double play for the Padres to turn. But Rizzo busting it out of the box. Keeps the inning alive.
Castro down from 2 to 5 in the order. I don't think there's really anything to that other than Bourbon in for Soriano, and Dale liked him in that 2 spot. So 4 straight lefties to start it, and Castro here in between Rizzo and Scherholtz. And a base hit, and the Cubs have the lead. Bourbon is in, and Castro in that RBI spot picks up number 13 on the year.
Castro, like Bourbon, just shooting the ball right back through the middle of the diamond. Good solid single.
Little assist there to Rizzo. Again, busting it down the line, keeping the inning alive. Now Scherholtz.
Yeah, you know, baseball probably has enough stats, but you know, if there was one for double plays averted, DPAs, there you go. It was a good DPA right there by Rizzo. Keep the inning alive. Those things that won't show up in the box score.
Pitch blown outside, 2-0.
See his agent taking that one into arbitration. Hey, my man, he had 13 DPAs last year. It's got to be worth something.
Cashner's 3-0 is a strike at 95.
He throws the easy 95.
Well, I
like
was just going to say, you've got the max effort guys, and then you have guys like Cashner. It just seems to come very easily.
Just long and easy, and just explodes out of his hand.
Bases loaded for Dioner Navarro. Second walk of the inning.
Getting really good movement on that two-seam fastball, but he's having a hard time finding the strike zone with it. He's got great movement, but Cubs doing a nice job laying off of it. Darren Balsley, the pitching coach, with an early trip to the mound to talk to his young right-hander.
Hey, coming up on Wednesday, May 15th, join Chicagoland police officers and their supporters for the Chicago Cubs annual Law Enforcement Night here at Wrigley Field. The Cubs will honor local officers in a pregame ceremony. All fans who purchase tickets through the special events page at Cubs.com will get a Law Enforcement Appreciation Night t-shirt. For more info or to purchase tickets, go to Cubs.com/special events. Here's our early AT&T U-verse multi-view. Sacks are packed. A run already in. Navarro has 3 home runs. That one squirts past Baker. Throw to the plate. Cashner's going to tag Rizzo to end the inning. So Rizzo tried to score on that ball that got past Baker, but the catcher pounced on it and they get out of it. The Cubs get a run, leading 1-0 after 1.
No matter what you're doing or where you're going, Southwest Airlines takes you there for less. Big sales that help you get away. That's how we fly. Act fast to grab flights for as low as $59 one way to select nonstop destinations. Hurry and book now online, only at southwest.com. We are Southwest. Welcome aboard.
Save big during Menards Spring Sale. Get a great-looking lawn with Menards premium lawn care products. This lawn food promotes thick green lawns, $7.99 after rebate. Weed and Feed helps control dandelions and other broadleaf weeds, $8.99 after rebate. Make yard work easier with MTD. This mower features a 159cc power mower engine and 21-inch cutting path with 6 position height adjusters and side discharge to make yard work a breeze. Only $179.
Save big money at Menards.
If you want the best of baseball all season long, Xfinity from Comcast gives you the best seat in the house. With MLB Network, you get live games 4 nights a week, plus 24/7 insider coverage and live look-ins every night. This is MLB Network on Xfinity. This is awesome. Sign up for the Xfinity HD Preferred XF Triple Play with MLB Network or ask about other bundles starting at only $99 a month for 12 months. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
Well, Anthony Rizzo unable to get to the dish. As a nice play by the Padre catcher John Baker in our Coors Light freeze can.
Late break there by Rizzo. He kind of, you got to come down the line with the delivery. So he kind of was behind the 8 ball from the get-go, just in terms of his approach on this play. You see he's going backwards. And then he didn't slide. He get tagged. He prefer to get a mulligan, a little do-over on that one.
A missed opportunity, even though the Cubs did get a run. And it'll be Alonso, Jerko, and Venable against Scott Feldman. Alonso homered last night. He's knocked in 4 in the series and a really nice bunt. Feldman will fire. Good stretch by Rizzo, and they got him.
Well, Cubs pitchers have committed a couple costly errors so far this year, and Feldman being a big guy, maybe they're figuring, well, he's not too nimble out there. We'll try a bunt on it. But here, he's a cat. He's a puma. And he gets his man, the big fella, scrambling off the mound. Nice job.
And Feldman with 3 errors already.
Yeah, so that's one of those things you're looking at the stat sheet. You're the Padres, and your advanced scout has watched him play. Say, hey, this guy might be worth pushing a bunt on. See if he can make a play.
The rookie second baseman Jed Jerko takes a strike. Go-ahead 2-run double last night early in the second. And a fly ball right center. It's slicing right into the glove of Scherholtz. Two away. Now the struggling Will Venable. He's 0 for 16. Actually, a couple of guys trying to break overs. Venable hitless in his last 16. Baker on deck, 0 for his last 12. Sharply hit grounder right to Rizzo. That'll do it. They go quietly 1-2-3. Nice, quick, efficient inning for Feldman. 1-zip Cubs.
Yes, sir. 75-cent frozen Coke. Run the food footage.
Come in and get a small frozen Coke or frozen cherry for only 75 cents at Burger King, where taste is king.
75 cents.
It's your first time here, and 80% of the bar is staring at you. Good thing you invited Tommy, who triples your street cred. You order 3 Modelo Especials, earning 7 slow nods from the crowd. You're 20% more confident. Then you remember your ace in the hole, Dylan, and his encyclopedic knowledge of garage rock. Nailed it. Modelo Especial. Discover the Especial.
The Honda Civic keeps getting better. Now with more standard features than ever before. It's the best Civic yet. Only from Honda.
Chili's $20 dinner for 2 satisfies even the boldest tastes. Share an appetizer, then choose 2 Chili's entrees like our slow smoked baby back ribs with new honey chipotle sauce. Chili's $20 dinner for 2. More life happens here.
Welcome back. Tomorrow the Bulls look to close the book on their series with Brooklyn and advance to round 2. Tune in as the playoffs return to the Madhouse for Game 6. Join Neil and Stacy for Bulls Nets Game 6 tomorrow night at 6:30 on Comcast SportsNet.
Gorgeous night here at the ballpark. Glad you are with us.
That guy was doing a little pommel horse before the game.
Was it the Ham brothers? The Olympians,
Yeah.
right? Midwest guys.
I always had that set of pommel horse trading cards. They were always the guys you wanted more than any.
Ball 1 on Navarro. He was at the plate when Rizzo was out trying to score on what would have been a wild pitch had he been safe. 2-0. Cashner working behind in the count here early on a lot.
Having a hard time harnessing his stuff. The advantage he has, and guys like him, because they throw so hard, they can make mistakes in the strike zone, more mistakes in the strike zone than most.
Big swing by Navarro. It is 2-2.
And I think he's trying to get that two-seam fastball under control, because I think that's a pitch he can get quicker outs with. The two-seamer he can start towards the middle of the plate, let it run to the outside edge against the lefties, and maybe get a weak fly ball or ground ball. Cubs is doing a nice job laying off his changeup too.
His strike to ball ratio basically 1-to-1 here early on. A flurry of pregame activity on the field here these last couple of days. Dave McKay had his fly ball machine working, hitting high fly balls to the outfielders, different sun angles and the wind. Navarro and Castillo were working with Mike Borzello and Jamie Quirk on pickoff throws. This is Quentin in left to retire Navarro. Well, you get nice days like we've had the last couple of days, and with 7 o'clock starts, you get a lot of work done in the afternoon.
Yeah, you know, it used to be the tradition in baseball. You showed up at the ballpark, came out for stretching, took some BP, went back in the clubhouse. The other team took BP. Then you came out and took an infield practice, and then, you know, then the road club would. I mean, that didn't happen anymore. So all the early work is all done before BP, and instead of just a round of infield, a lot of times there's specialized drills, and you know the infielders get plenty of ground balls during batting practice.
Cody Ransom was taking ground balls at first, just in case. Another hitter's count here, 2-0 on Barney, who has 3 doubles, 2 walks, 2 RBIs so far in the series. Make it 3-0.
Cubs have not been the most patient team, far from it so far this year. They don't draw many walks at all, but they took 2 free passes in the first, and now Barney working his way into a favorable count.
Cashner went to Angelina College in Lufkin, Texas, and then Texas Christian as he walks Barney. Bring up the pitcher Feldman. 3 walks already for Cashner. Had a great time this afternoon here at the ballpark handing out checks for charity. Cubs teaming up with the Robert R. McCormick Foundation and announcing more than $1 million in grants to nonprofits serving those in need in the Chicago area, and many of those benefiting from Cubs Care grants. Here in the ballpark tonight, the 9th consecutive year, more than $1 million has been donated to Chicago communities through Cubs Care. Thanks to David and Kim DeJesus for being at the luncheon today. David helped hand out the checks. Tom Ricketts, Laura Ricketts were in attendance as well. Feldman bunts foul. The old adage, it's better to give than to receive. You really feel that when you go to that luncheon.
That's
it's
good
wonderful
stuff. Yeah, that's great stuff.
More than $18 million has been donated through Cubs Care since 1991. Barney takes off. Here's a throw to second. Not in time. Instead of Feldman bunting into second, Barney just decided to take the bag himself.
Well, with a guy like Cashner on the mound who's got such nasty stuff, tough to get a bunt down against. So if you feel like you know that's going to be the case, not a bad idea if you can get a jump to try to steal the bag.
So now Feldman will try to knock him in. Well, the Cubs now have 20 stolen bases on the season. Rizzo, Sherholtz, Soriano all have 3. Bourbon, Castro, Sapelt, each with a couple. Barney with his first. They've spread it around.
Not a bad hack right there. Not bad at all. That looked legit. That's on a 96-mile-an-hour fastball.
Deep to right for Scott Feldman in the corner, and it's going to land fair. It'll send Barney to the plate. Feldman to second, and he's going to hold with a double. 2-0.
How about that? Yeah, big smile. Feldman, he showed you the swing on the fastball, so that got Cashner's attention. He throws him a little baby slider out over the plate. And Feldman was right on that. So he made the outstanding play in the field. Now he delivers a run-scoring double. He's well on his way to being the player of the game. Really the player of the first 2 innings anyway.
Well, that's a great point. He got the sliders simply because of the way he swung at that previous pitch.
Yeah, so I better treat this guy like a legit hitter. I'm going to throw him a little breaking ball.
Jesus hits that one in the center on the ground. Feldman to third, where he'll be held by David Bell.
Well, the cliche in baseball, and there's like a billion of them over the last decade or so, has been, what a good piece of hitting. But we've seen it 3 times now, these hitters going right back through the middle with Cashner's fastball, not trying to pull that thing, that 2-seamer running away, just staying on it. Good solid approach by the Cub hitters here this evening.
Well, instead of the pitching coach, Darren Balsley, who came out in the first inning, this time it's the manager, Bud Black, and he's the only one talking.
And he turned to John Baker and said, let's go. I get a feeling that there's a game plan, a strategy they had in place in terms of how they wanted Cashner to attack the Cub hitters tonight. And I don't think Buddy's happy with the way they're executing that plan. That's just a guess. He might have just went out and said, try throwing your knuckle curveball or something. I don't know. That's just my guess. It's as good as anybody's.
Baker alerting Padres infielders what he'll do if De Jesus takes off from first and that runner at third. Foul tip. 0-1.
Yeah, well, I suspect they would throw through here if De Jesus tries to steal, or at least Baker would have the option of throwing through. You know, unless De Jesus got such a big jump that he had felt like he had no chance to get him. Sometimes in this situation, if there's a speedy guy on third base and you feel like you have little chance of throwing that guy out at second, you'll just hold the ball. But with Feldman being the runner at third, my guess is they would throw through.
0-2 to Bourbon.
I got a feeling that Bud Black said, stop trying to be so crafty and start pounding four-seam fastballs, because that's what's going on here. So funny in this game, the pitchers, the guys that are the soft tossers, the guys with the breaking stuff, and they all wish they could throw 95. And the guys that have the plus stuff like Cashner, they want to be able to turn it over and sink it and trick you with the off-speed stuff.
Another 0-2, and he pops it up on the infield. It's Chase Headley.
Now, you better be careful here if he adopts that same strategy with Valbuena, because if he throws him that 94 middle in a little bit, he can spin on that.
In the air, right field, Venable puts it in his pocket to end the inning. Scott Feldman with his second career double, making it 2-0 Cubs.
Everyone is looking for it. That momentum, that spark, that juice for their business, their lives, their dreams. Well, here it is. First Midwest Bank. We're growing. We're local. We've got momentum. Want some? First Midwest Bank. Bank with momentum.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced, or descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
For seeing your business in a whole new way. For seeing what cash is coming in and going out. So you can understand every angle of your cash flow. Last week, this month, and even next year. For seeing your business's cash flow like never before, introducing Cash Flow Insight, powered by PNC CFO, a suite of online tools that lets you turn insight into action.
Why shop TJ Maxx and Marshalls? 1, you get all the awesome brand names. 2, you get them for less than department stores, and that's awesome. 3, she'll think you look stylish and awesome. 4, you'll actually be awesome, which is awesome. TJ Maxx and Marshalls, 2 awesome ways to score.
To the third we go. Cubs 2. Padres nothing. MLB.com at bat is the #1 source for live baseball everywhere you go. Available for iPhone, iPad, Android, and BlackBerry 10. At bat delivers Cubs baseball with live audio, pitch tracking, stats, news, highlights, and more. Text at bat to 31826 or visit Cubs.com for details.
I can attest to the and more. You've got to dial up every game. Yeah. It's a great app. So Scott Feldman with his second career double and RBI. Has a 2-0 lead. He'll face 8, 9, and 1, starting with the catcher John Baker. Nick Hundley with a good series to this point. Now Asmani Grandal on the not on the disabled list, the suspended list. He had to sit out the first 50 games because of a positive PED test over the winter. So he won't be eligible to return until I believe late May. One strike on Baker. Make it 2. Big swing and a miss. And he got him. Second strikeout.
Baker trying to swing his way out of a slump, and that rarely works. It never works when you swing a neck-high fastball. That was a cut fastball.
Cashner takes a strike.
Saw him peek down at third base prior to the pitch. Had a no-show. He's a good athlete. He stole a base in his last start. Was credited with the stolen base. The ball was actually in the dirt, but got credited with a stolen base.
And according to Elias, first guy to get all three, a single, a stolen base, and a run in his first win as a starter since 1969 when Bart Johnson did it with the White Sox. Got him on a curve.
Third strikeout of the night for Scott Feldman. Just locks him up with that breaking ball, and it settles into the inside part of the plate down around the knees.
Back-to-back strikeouts. And it's Cabrera. He was caught looking to start the game. Started that at bat 3-0. And the next 3 were called strikes. And one of the stats that's easy to look up is swing percentage. And tonight Cabrera's is 0. 8 pitches, and he hasn't offered at any of them.
Probably hacking here then. Nope. Wow.
Make it 9 pitches. And he has not swung. Feldman strikes out the side in the third.
Let's have a conference call over the weekend.
Great idea. Yeah, you're probably going to need to be home between 10 and 6.
Gonna need to keep it in the shop till Monday.
The big Shactus, the big Aristotle,
There's a reason I have 15 nicknames with the word big in it. I'm big. Thank you, buddy. Good thing I can get full-size luxury and fresh technology in this LaCrosse. Trust me, this car makes me sexy. If you don't know the stylish and luxurious LaCrosse, you don't know Buick.
Now get 0% financing for 60 months or $1,500 cash back on the 2013 Buick LaCrosse.
I knew when he asked me on the second date to go to a Cubs Cards game that he was a good catch. Catch.
It's kind of a theme in our lives. We have a gnome.
A nutcracker. We have a lizard named Wrigley.
It's a bearded dragon.
It's a lizard.
We have a trash can, Cubs toaster.
We even have some dirt from Wrigley.
And I like to think that it's all tastefully done.
Tomorrow, it's a division showdown at Clark and Edison as Barney and the boys welcome the division rival Reds to Chicago. Coverage begins with Papa John's pregame live at 12:30. Don't miss Cubs Reds tomorrow at 12:30 on Comcast SportsNet.
Weather is heating up, so make plans to come out and enjoy a few games here in beautiful Wrigley Field. Tickets are available for the rest of this homestand. This weekend, the Reds are in. Next week, the Cardinals, the Rangers on Monday in that makeup game. For more info, including group plans, Budweiser bleacher availability, and premier options, go to Cubs.com.
Well, we got 7:05 on Monday?
Yep. Reds are off tomorrow. They'll have an off day here in Chicago as Rizzo wraps one into center past Cashner. And he's on.
What a trade!
Once again.
And our up the middle theme continues. This one just beyond the reach of Cashner. Couldn't react quickly enough to this solid line drive off the bat of Anthony Rizzo. Yeah, his hustle was a key in that first inning. Beat out the double play ball, kept the inning alive. Padres went slowly with Cashner this spring because of the injury problems the last couple of seasons. So he started the year in the pen before moving into the rotation, but that was the plan all along. They see this guy as a future ace, top of the rotation, 200+ inning type starter.
I think that has been or was the question. Closer type or top of the rotation starter. Rizzo just took off for second. He was almost standing on second before the pitch even hit the catcher's mitt. Yep. Look at that jump.
Yep. Before first move, but mentally Cashner had already committed to go home, and timing could not have worked out any better for Rizzo.
Ground ball to the shortstop. The throw's going to go to third. Safe. He got in. So Cabrera took a chance. Very tight at third, but Rizzo got his foot in.
Well, the play was behind him, so typically shortstop's just going to concede that base and go across the diamond to first to get the out, but Cabrera, awfully quick feet, gets off a good throw. And that was awfully close at third base. Rizzo did the right thing. The ball's behind him. You're supposed to go to third base on a ball like that. Yeah, I think he was in there.
I don't think
he ever got tagged.
Got the tag on in time. So fielder's choice for Castro. And I should point out, with that stolen base, Rizzo leads the Cubs with 4. Because if I don't point it out tonight, he will point it out to me tomorrow.
Did you mention?
Well, he'll say, yeah. You know who leads a team in steals? First and third, nobody out.
And who's among the club leaders in double plays averted.
Since we started officially counting that stat, Rizzo leads the Cubs with 1 DPA, double plays averted.
Cubs building a picket fence, one in the first, one in the second. Real good shape to get one more across, at least here in the third.
That's a strike. Cashner has a chance to get it together here and have a deep, good start. But if he continues to pitch the way he has early, he won't. He's just been behind way too many guys. And the Cubs have waited him out. Two and two on Scherholtz.
Early enough in the game, of the Padres will play for 2 and concede a run here on a ground ball.
Big first out for Cashner as he strikes out Scherholtz. Believe it or not, that is his first strikeout tonight.
Just a good elevated two-seam fastball, a little run. He just beat Nate.
Now Navarro. He flied to left his first time. Cashner began the season in long relief. Then he made a spot start for an ill Clayton Richard. And after that took Tyson Ross' place in the rotation when Ross went on the DL. There's a decent chance Cashner would have made the opening day rotation had he not been coming off that thumb surgery we talked about earlier. Here comes his 0-1, fouled off. 0-2.
Yeah, somebody else got hurt in the hunting incident, right? Trying to butcher a deer or something.
I am blanking, but I think you're right. As Baker will go out and talk it over.
Guys are grinding tonight, boy. A lot of conversation.
Two strikes to count on Navarro. Here it is. Bounced it off his front leg, I believe.
Him try to pull the hands in to get that cut fastball that was moving in on him.
Back knee.
And look at that pitch count. 63 pitches already. As he works here in the third inning with just one out.
Well, when Cashner was a Cub, talked a lot about the comparisons between him and another hard-throwing right-hander from Texas, Kerry Wood. Well, he's wearing Kerry's number now that he's with the Padres. Castro runs on the 1-2. This one fouled off into the seats.
Well, in football they talk about coaching trees, and I guess in baseball too, to a certain extent, guys who managed and then coaches that coached under them became managers. There's kind of a Texas fireballer tree that starts with Nolan Ryan,
right,
and Kerry Wood and Roger Clemens and Josh Beckett, hard-throwing right-handers.
So the baton has now been passed to the likes of Andrew Cashner. Another 1-2. Castro not running. The ball gets by and it caroms right back to Baker. And this time Rizzo heading back to third. He would have been out by 40 feet. Castro did advance, by the way.
Yeah, complete whiff by Baker, and that worked to the advantage of the Padres. If he gets a piece of this ball, it's going to kick off to the side and probably allow Rizzo to score, but he did not touch it at all. Right to the backstop and right back to him. Almost as if it were a designed play, but nobody's that good.
So after a boomerang wild pitch, they're at second and third, 2-2 on Navarro. Hanging in there against Cashner. The pitch. Fly ball well hit. Deep right center. Venable back on it. Can't make the catch. 2 runs will score. And Navarro has a double.
Well, there's 3 people on the Cubs that are really happy right now. Yonder Navarro just drove in 2 with this swing of the bat, and it was a dandy. Almost hit a home run. Scott Feldman now has a 4-run lead, and Anthony Rizzo could just jog home from third base on this ball. There was no drama on this pitch. He jogs home ahead of Castro. Boy, Cubs getting some real good whacks in here against this hard-thrown right-hander.
And Darwin Barney gets hit by a breaking pitch.
And fans booing. They think that's retaliation because of all the good swings. Well, it was an 82-mile-an-hour slider that just squirted out of his hands. And he really has been essentially a one-pitch pitcher tonight in terms of anything he can throw over the plate with any regularity. So the Cub hitters can go up there basically disregarding the slider or the changeup and just sit fastball. Sure, but I think they're going to run out of timeouts here pretty soon.
Baker wearing out a path to the mound, and
Darren Balsley, the pitching coach. That's kind of a thing in recent years. Used to be the catcher would just go to the mound. Now the whole infield goes in there sometimes. It's like a book club or something. What are you guys talking about? I guess it's like in basketball when you shoot a free throw and you got to high five everybody on the team, right?
Team bonding.
Bonding thing.
Well, that'll bring up Scott Feldman. Is Dale Swaim chatting with him over near the dugout, and they're going to have to break up this meeting.
He says, Skip, do you really want me to bunt? Do you realize what I did last time up?
Well, let's check it out. Our Xfinity high-speed action. Hanging breaking ball. Almost got by Baker as well.
And the conversation, I'm sure, between Dale and Scott was, what do? You want me to give me the freedom to pull it back and swing away if they put the wheel play on? Or Rizzo chatting with Dale about his adventures at third base tonight.
Nice to see the manager smiling. Got a long way to go tonight, but an early cushion. Bunted foul.
Yeah, well, down 4 runs already. The Padres trying to be aggressive here, taking a shot at nailing a lead runner, maybe even getting a double play. Navarro at second base, not a speedy guy. That first pitch they had the wheel play on. Second time they faked it.
Baker's going to take an ice bath after this game. Feldman gets it down with 2 strikes. And Cashner will fire to the second baseman, Jerko.
Well, Feldman contributing yet again. He's doing everything right tonight.
Second and third in the dirt. Well, Baker's goals against is pretty good, although he let one get through the 5-hole earlier.
Yeah, they've been swarming around the net all night long.
1-1.
Well, for the first time all year, the Cubs were in a ball game last night decided by more than 4 runs. Unfortunately, they were on the wrong end of that one. So it'd be nice for them to have a comfortable W here tonight. A base hit here would go a long way to providing that. Whack the shoe. And looks at a little spot, the barrel of his bat, just to narrow his focus before he settles into the batter's box.
David ready. Here comes a 1-2 pitch. Skipped to Cabrera, who looks it in before firing across to Alonso. And ending the frame, Navarro with a long double, plating 2, and it's 4-0 Cubs after 3.
Fact, the 100% electric Nissan Leaf is more fun than ever, sees better than ever, charges faster, and will charge, cool, and heat from your phone. Fact, Leaf never needs gas, ever. Good for the world, built in America. Now, Leaf's an easier choice than ever. Shop at ChooseNissan.com.
Look at him, living on cloud nine with that U-verse wireless receiver.
You see, in my day, when my mom was repainting the house, you couldn't just set up a TV in the basement. I mean, come on.
Nope. We only watched TV in the rooms that had a TV outlet.
Yeah, if we wanted to watch TV someplace else, we'd have to go to my Aunt Sally's. Have you ever sat in a plastic-covered couch?
You're missing a good game over here.
Those kids wouldn't have lasted one day in our shoes.
Add a wireless receiver. Call to get U-verse TV for just $19 a month with qualifying bundles. Rethink possible.
Welcome to the Good Life, Inc., where the grass is green on both sides of the fence,
and having your head in the clouds is an occupational hazard.
Johnson.
Our latest product, the new Good Life instant tickets from the Illinois Lottery. You could win up to $10,000 a week for 20 years, which could make anyone's life a little sunnier.
Frank, no clouds at the beach.
Right. The new Good Life instant games from the Illinois Lottery. Anything's possible.
Tomorrow, the Madhouse will be wild as Noah Deng and the crew look to shut down Lopez, Williams, and the Nets. It's a must-win Game 6 on the West Side. Join Neil and Stacy for Bulls-Nets Game 6. Tomorrow night at 6:30 on Comcast SportsNet.
This fourth inning is brought to you by the new Cool Ranch Doritos Locos Tacos from